start one freshman and one senior. Sierra starts, and two sophomores and a junior.
Mm-hmm.
Sierra's a 3-year starter.
Okay.
And Lyric has started some, and Sydney's been in there. They play a lot.
Mm-hmm. Girls, if you would, let's go ahead and describe Coach Hayes in one word, if you can.
Very loud.
Very loud?
He's very committed to us and the team.
He's passionate. That goes with being very loud, but he really cares about the game, cares about winning. Even when we are winning, he's still yelling.
Okay, Coach Hayes, we're visiting with the coach of Mike Hayes at Midway Lady Waves, a high school girls basketball coach, and our phone lines are open. You have a question or comment for Coach Hayes or some of his seniors he's brought in here. Coach, how long have you been coaching at Midway?
Too long. No, I'm an old man, so I started back in the early 70s as a junior high coach and assistant boys basketball coach on the high school level. And then I've been there pretty much till '07. I quit coaching in '03 and went to be vice principal. And then in '07, I retired completely and went and done a couple of jobs out away from education. But they roped me back in there about 12 years ago. They said, just come back for 3 years and do it a half time. Well, 3 years has turned into 12 this year. And then coaching, they tried to get me to come back and coach, and I turned them down a couple of times. And then finally some of them talked me into it. I said, all right, I'll give it one more shot. And I had missed the kids, and it's my passion, and I love coaching, and I like being around the kids, and we have a good time most of the time.
So you've been the head coach of the last 12 years for Midway?
I've been last 7.
Last 7?
I was out for about 12. Retired.
Okay.
And they tried to get me to come back like 4 years earlier, and I wasn't ready at that time. Nah. So
You used to be on the boys' staff?
I was assistant boys there for several years, and like I said, the middle school. And I've coached middle school 2 or 3 times off and on, but I've been there a long time, since 1974.
Did you graduate from Midway?
No, I'm a Harriman guy. Just got hired my first year out of college. I got hired, and they passed me around from about 2 or 3 schools, and then I landed at Midway the last part of '74, I guess it was, and I liked it, and I lucked in, got a job there the next year, and it's been a good ride. People have been good to me. It's a great place.
And you say, are you retired right now?
Part-time. I go to school. I'm the graduation coach at Midway for the last 12 years. I work part-time, about half a day. I go home, take my nap, come back, practice, and go home again.
Pretty good gig.
No, not a bad gig, no.
Let's talk a little bit about your family.
I have a wife, Cindy. We've been married about 48 years, and she's put up with me for a long time, and she knows I am. I got a son, Joshua. He works for a Lifeways Potion Company in Nashville. He has a doctoral degree. He's a little smarter than his old man. And 2 grandkids, and they're a joy. And so that's pretty much it.
How old are your grandkids?
My grandson is 9, and my granddaughter will be 7 next month.
I guess they're playing ball, aren't you?
The boy plays flag football. The girl's into gymnastics. I told her she couldn't be a cheerleader, though. But she probably will be.
Right. Did you play sports at Harriman?
A little bit. I got the splinters out of my tail end a few times, most of the time.
Play basketball?
Yeah, a little bit. Not much. We had some pretty good players back then. You had a lot of boys that could play. So I just sit around, watched, and learned, and try to pick up things. And it's always been just I like basketball.
I went to watch Harriman play some when I was a kid growing up. I recall some of the players, Bohannon, I think a Cordell Bohannon at Harriman, and there was an Anderson kid
Yeah.
that played.
Yeah, he was after me. But yeah, he could play. He went on to college and did a good job. I mean, there was some good kids come through there by the time I was there. You know, I was kind of toward the bottom, way bottom.
Okay. Well, I know how that is. But your team is off to a really good start this year. I mean, about midway through the season, a little bit past that, we're pretty getting close to tournament time, just right around the corner. And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all are 13-5 and
13.
overall and undefeated in your district.
Right now we are, and the girls have worked hard, and they try to do what we ask, and they've really this year they have bought in and have done a fantastic job, so to speak. I mean, we're young, but and we're not overly talented. We got good kids, and they work hard, and I think that's a big part of it. And their attitude is fantastic. We've had very few problems this year, and they're just fun to be around, fun to coach.
And you're in District 4, a class single A, and in there with Oakdale, Harriman,
Rockwood,
Rockwood, and Greenback. So it's 5 teams in your district. And do you like the new district format? I know they went to it last year, and they sort of reduced the district, split it up. Do you
I
like
kind of liked it better when it was 9 teams, because you really had to. If you finished in the top 4, you've done something, because that was a tough district with all the teams. Oneida, Cofield, Oliver Springs. Of course, Greenback wasn't in there then, but it was tough. Wartburg, Sunbright. I mean, we had battles, and it was like every day you better be ready to play every time you suited up. 5, I think it takes something away from just having 5 teams. It just some of the competition's not there.
right? Sort of waters it down a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, I understand there's not that many single A schools around here. And then next year it's be about the same, except Oneida moves up in the region.
Oneida moving up to
Oneida
2A.
moves up to 2A, and then I think Jellicoe's coming back in. And, of course, we don't play them. And they hadn't played Oneida since they left. That's a long trip for us. That's about an hour and a half. And we just kind of respect each other not to play.
Right.
It's too far.
Yeah. Let's talk about your season thus far. I mentioned, you're undefeated, but just go ahead and just talk about the season.
Well, we had a big game with Harriman a couple of weeks ago. It went right down to the wire, and we got to play them at our place here week after next. So, and we played Oakdale last night and won, and we have to go to Greenback and Rockwood. So, it's not over till it's over, and all of them make me nervous. I worry a lot. I'm a warrior, and so we just have to go and do the best we can and hope things take care of itself, because these other coaches do fantastic jobs too. So, and I have a good staff. I have Darryl Ruffner helps me. He's the former boys coach at Midway, and Ron Treadway, he was the football coach. He's still consistent football coach. He's been helping me the last 5 years, I guess now, and both of them do an awesome job. I just kind of interject every once in a while when I want to say something. I let them do the coaching during practice, and I just do what I want to do.
Who was that first assistant you mentioned?
Coach Ruffner, Darryl Ruffner from Oliver Springs originally, played up there. He was our boys coach at Midway for about 20-something years.
Ruffner, okay.
Yeah, his granddaughter plays. She just got hurt last week against Rockwood, and tore her knee up, we think. And so she's been starting part of the season, so we don't know.
Oh, 4 years.
Yeah.
That was a tough blow.
That's a tough blow, yeah.
What grade is she?
Sophomore.
Yeah. I hope she'll be able to come back.
I don't know about this year, but we're, down the road, she's a good kid.
Sound like you got a good staff, a lot of experience.
Yeah.
I know we had Coach Treadway on. last year or year before last when he was for the football
Yeah.
team, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sure he brings a lot of.
He brings a lot of passion
the
too,
team,
and
yeah.
he's a great job. He does what I hate to do. He likes watching film. I hate watching film. I just get mad all over again, and I don't like doing that. And, so I let him watch the film most of the time. Now, I'll watch some, but he does a good job of telling me what we need to do, and we kind of try to do it.
You had a big win last night over Oakdale.
Yeah.
Coach Fred Snow,
Yep.
he's still there coaching.
Coach
right?
Fred's there. He's a good guy. We go back to college and high school with him, and he's a super guy, good coach. We've had a lot of battles down through the years.
Yeah, I always love watching him on the sideline coach, and he really gets into it.
Yeah,
Good coach.
he does. Good, great coach.
What style of play for a midway for your girls? Do you just base it on your talent, or?
Well, this year we've been. I went back to my roots. I've always liked to push the ball, and we hadn't done that the last couple of years as well as I wanted to. So while Coach Treadway was in football, Coach Ruffner and I worked our tail end off and push, and we've done a pretty good job at that, pushing the ball down the floor. We like to press some. They get mad sometimes when we don't press. So, but last 3 weeks here, we've got 3 games. We've had 3 games a week, and we've had to back off the pressing a little bit because I'm afraid we're going to be leg worried time the season's over.
So notice on your schedule, you got Loudon, I think, tomorrow night, and then Monterey on Friday.
Yeah, go to Monterey on Friday. That's a long way, but both of them are double A's. It'd just be, hell, we had good games with them, but Loudon beat us at their place on the last second shot. And Monterey beat us about 10 at home, and we're looking forward to playing them again. We owe a little payback, I think.
If you would, Coach, just go ahead and talk a little about the history of Midway basketball on the girls' side. I noticed today I was trying to get some information. I noticed y'all played in the state tournament in 2019. Is that right?
4 years ago we played. Lyric's sister played for me on that team, and she started, and
how'd y'all end up in that tournament?
we finished in the Final Four. The team that won the state, Gibson County, that year, put us out, and it was a close game. It was up about 3 at into the third quarter, and then they started holding the ball on us and made us foul them, and they made about every free throw they shot. Fouled about half of ours out, yeah, and that's fine. I mean, that's what you do. I'd probably done it too if I'd had the lead at that time.
What do you think? Would you like to have a shot clock?
I have mixed feelings about that. You know,
Have you ever been to a
no,
tournament, played in that?
I've done it at maybe at camp, an individual camp. We've done it, but I don't know. Last night we came out against Oakdale, and we must have passed the ball 42 times. So one of the parents said the shot clock went off twice during that period. And it probably did because we was trying to be patient and we were probing and I mean, I like to get a good shot. I just don't like throwing it up there because they get you in trouble a lot of times.
Right.
And, so
changes the game a lot, don't it?
yeah, but like I said, we want to get a good shot. As long as it's a good shot, I won't say much. If it's in what we are doing, I got some now. I have to really tie their arms down late in the game when we're ahead. They want to jack up them threes some more. Yeah. And I have to pull the rein a little bit. And, so it's funny sometimes. They just look at me like I'm crazier.
And that 2019 season, that team went to state tournament. Did y'all win the district championship that year in the region, or
right?
Just went pretty much.
We finished. We were like 4th during the season.
Oh, 4th.
Yeah,
okay.
and Oneida. We lost twice to Oneida. Maybe once to Sunbright, and I don't know. We was 4th, and we had to play. We had to play the entry game in 19. We 4 played 5, and I think we played Cofield that year and won, and then
just got hot there.
Got hot. Played Sunbright in the semifinals, I guess it was. Yeah, and got hot. We just got because at Christmas we were like 4 and 5. and I was worried. I'm, oh man, but we'd lost to good teams. We'd lost to Clark Range. We lost a team at Farragut, I think, out of Knoxville, and some good teams. And I'm worried. And I don't know. After Christmas, it came together, and we lost one game between first of the year and state tournament. We beat Oneida in the district about 6 or 8 points, and then in the region finals, we beat them pretty good. I mean,
So you won the region.
yeah. And then
Got
we
the
had
host
played
of
North Green in the sub-state. We played all those at Rome State, and we beat North Green to sub-state by 2.
Yeah, North Green, they got some good teams.
Oh, that
over
Upper East Tennessee's always got 1 or 2
Yeah.
good teams. It's tough to get out of there. It used to be South Green when they were single A. Now it's North Green, and Hampton and Cloudland are tearing it up there this year, I think.
played the teams that we're looking for in Class A.
Well, I ain't getting that far ahead,
Right, I
but,
mean, just
but I
yeah.
keep an eye on it, yeah.
Who did y'all defeat in the state tournament? You say you advanced to the semifinals.
We beat Eagleville. It's
Eagleville.
It's a school right there in that
Right.
same county.
Yeah.
So it was, and they led us at halftime, and we come back and pressed them the second half and did a real good job and beat them right toward the end of the game. They had a shot to tie it or something, if I remember right, but we won.
Yeah. That's real exciting, ain't it? Advance to the state tournament.
Oh, yeah.
It's
That was my 3rd trip, and we'd gotten beat the other 2 times the first game.
What I was going to ask you the history on the Midway going back. You say that was your 3rd trip.
Yeah, we've been Midway girls teams have been 6 times,
Oh, okay.
and
A lot of tradition.
well, the early teams in the '60s went when it was 6-on-6 basketball, and that was for classification, and they got beat by teams like Bradley and some other teams like that, but Porter, Townsend, all those teams like that. But they were there. But that's when they took 16 teams, and they won 1 game. So when they went to 8, I kept telling my girls, if I go down again, we need to win a game. I said, this is embarrassing to go there and get beat every time. But and we walked off the floor. One of my girls said, Coach, hey, we at least won 1. And that's right. So it makes you feel good. You won 1 down there. But, that's one reason I came back. There's an opportunity. I got good girls there, and we think that, we're hoping we get to go back here in the next period of time.
You say you've been there 3 times to the state tournament. What was the other 2 years? Were you the head
85,
coach?
Yeah, 85 and 91.
So you was the head coach.
Yeah.
So you've had some different stints there at Midway.
Yeah.
As the head coach.
I took over in the early 80s for Boyd Woody, who'd been a long legend there, and he coached for like 20-something years, 30 years, and coached girls and boys. And I took over for him, and that was a big step, a lot of pressure. And I'd been there 5 or 6 years and moved up, and I felt the pressure there for a few years, and then about 85 we went to state tournament. That helped it. I felt like, okay, now I've proved myself, and we can do this, and it was tough there. I mean, I really did feel the pressure.
How long was you there that first stint?
My first time I was there from 74 till 79
As an assistant?
as assistant boys and middle school coach, junior high coach, whatever you want to call it. And then Lenore City hired me as their girls head coach. And I went up there for 2 years. And my heart kept pulling back toward Midway, and Mr. Woody decided he's going to give it up because he was principal too. And he asked me to come back, and Lenore City was good to me, and I appreciate those people, but my heart was in Midway, so I went back, and I've been there ever since. Some capacity.
What years was you at Midway from the head coach that first time?
81, 82 was my first year as the head coach, and I stayed till my son graduated in 03, so I stepped aside then, 03. And then I totally retired in 07 from everything. And then I was out about 4 years, and they come back to be graduation coach. And I was there about 5, 6 years, and here I am, coach of the girls again.
So you've been a head coach for roughly about 30 years?
30-something years, yeah,
As a head coach.
as a head coach, yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Well, they don't
Yeah.
think so sometimes.
Yeah.
But see, I coached one of them mama, one of them sister over there. 2 or 3 girls on the team. I coach their parents, their aunts, their uncles, or somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a break. Then we'll come back and meet these young ladies. So stick around. We're visiting with the head coach of the Midway Lady Waves, Mike Hayes, and we'll be right back. You're watching the Locker Room Chat.
Sorry I'm late. It's been a long day turning Rex into checks. Hey, why are the Oz Bears in the kitchen cooking dinner?
Oh, hey, Tim.
how's it
Welcome
going?
home.
You've been so busy icing the insurance company. They're here to remind you it's hockey season.
Hey, Tim, can you pass me the ketchup?
Sure.
Sure.
No
Thanks.
problem.
Hey, Tim, do you want a burger?
I do.
Medium well?
Yes. Well, that's how the Ice Bears roll.
Shot by Timo, bam, he scores!
As soon as I walked in the door and saw just the ambiance of the place, I thought, wow. I said, this is really nice. Everyone is just great with all of the residents.
I call this the Alexander House of Angels.
This is an example of one of our rooms. This is considered a large studio. We do have 4 different size rooms. They all have their own private bathrooms. They all have a small kitchenette.
I always tell residents that they feed us wisdom. I feel like that's a big special part of working in assisted living.
And it's a big family here. Everyone is very nice.
Look out for each other.
They do. She's made a lot of friends. It's been that from day one.
Yeah, it has. I love our building, our people, but I tell you, I wouldn't be anywhere else.
There's a lot of talk about the risks associated with the COVID-19 vaccine, but the reality is it's safer than being tackled by a Tennessee Titan. Give it a shot. Find a free vaccine appointment today at covid19.tn.gov.
I'm Amanda, one of the RN shift leaders at Rome Medical Center. I love the sense of community that we have here. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced, and that's why I choose Rome Medical Center.
I choose Rome Medical Center because this is where my heart is. My family and friends use Rome Medical Center, and I want everyone that comes through our doors to have an experience that makes them as proud of Rome Medical Center as I am.
Find out why Roan Medical Center is the best choice for your future in healthcare. Learn more at roanmedicalcenter.com.
Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman is East Tennessee's best choice for pre-owned vehicle sales and service. Earl Duff is a name you know and trust, and we have been meeting the automotive needs of Roan and surrounding counties for over 49 years. Shopping with us is easy, and we treat our customers like family. From sales to finance to service, we're your one-stop shop for everything automotive. Don't settle for less with your next pre-owned vehicle purchase. Come to Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman or online at duffpreowned.com.
RMG, bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We'll buy it on the spot and we'll pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. We treat you like family.
Rome Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Harriman and Rockwood.
Very good. Very good screen.
Welcome back into the Locker Room Chat. We're visiting with Mike Hayes, head coach of the Midway Lady Waves girls high school basketball team. And right now we're going to look at some scores from last night around the area. And Coach Hayes of Midway Lady Waves are undefeated in the district. You can see there, defeated Oakdale last night at Oakdale, 57-34. And just checking out the other scores there, as you see. Coach, anything jump out at you there?
Oneida and Cofield, that's a battle right there. They've had 2 close games, and I hadn't seen Oneida just a little bit on tape, but I know they got shooters.
Mm-hmm.
That always scares you. You got shooters. Sunbright, I think, has really improved since we played them earlier in the year. Greenback has always been a big rival of ours, going back to the 80s and 90s when we were knocking heads regularly. So, and Rockwood has really improved this year. They won 5 or 6 games now, and so they're Thomas Davis has got them on the way up, hopefully.
Right, yeah.
And Oliver Springs upset Wartburg there last night. I guess that's upset. They're pretty close. And they're capable teams. I don't like playing either one of them. They're dangerous.
Yeah, those a lot of good rivalries right there over the years, and it's good to see. You know, I don't like consolidation. I know Kingston and I think is it Rockwood supposedly supposed to consolidate.
Harriman and Rockwood maybe, then Kingston, something like that.
Yeah.
That's talk. Who knows?
I hate to see that if that happens, but anyway, see Old Cridge Lady Wildcats over Powell in 4A basketball, and Carnes over Central. Carnes really improved this year. And
I don't pay much attention to those Knoxville schools. We don't play them, and they're all big schools.
Yeah.
I
know Sunbright had them on last week, and their boys play Campbell County. I played them, so.
Yeah, those big schools like that, you know, got a lot to choose from.
Right, certainly.
You know, we got 200 and about 20 kids. You know, we're one of the smaller ones. Sunbright, Oakdale,
right.
Cofield, you know, very small.
Hard to compete year in, year out with the
Yeah.
bigger schools. On the boys' side, last night, Oak Ridge over Powell. The Wildcats, Aaron Green, he was in there earlier. Got a really good team. There's Oliver Springs boys getting a win over Wartburg. Oneida over Cofield. And Kingston got a really good team this year over Tellico Plains.
Yeah, that's a district game, isn't it?
I
think so.
Possibly be. Any of those other boys' games? What do you think?
Now, Greenback beating Rockwood, you know, Coach K is hard to beat, so that's kind of surprising. I hadn't paid attention. Our boys went down the wire last night with Oakdale. We just couldn't get over the hump. They had had a shot at the end there and just couldn't get it done.
Okay.
But they're still fighting.
Okay, let's look at some of the scores around the area last night, and right now let's meet these Lady Waves over here. Let's start there with Lyric Prinzi, and you say you coach Lyric's
Our sister played for me for 4 years, yeah.
All these girls are seniors, and Lyric, start with you. Let's talk about the season, how it's going thus far for you.
It's going pretty well. I think we all work really well as a team. We're very aggressive. Everybody gets along. There's not very much drama between anyone. We all act like a bunch of sisters, though, together. We fight, but at the end of the day, we still love each other.
You say you play the high post or play inside?
I play high post and shooting guard, just kind of wherever he decides to put me.
Okay, Sydney?
And she's also a football player. I got 2 football players on this team.
Actually on the team?
Yeah. Lyric's a punter. Sierra kicked for 3 years.
Let's talk to Lyric again about that. You play a football. You the punter?
Yes.
Really? Wow. And how you like that?
I know we had to punt a lot this season. The guys, though, were very nice. They had our back. I got hit a few times. Definitely felt the pain of it, but I wouldn't take it back. I loved it. It was a good opportunity.
Did you play football growing up?
I played football when I was in elementary school. I was nose guard and center.
Wow. Okay.
And she's a soccer player. A good one. She's a goalie.
Yeah, I was going to ask her, that's one of my other questions. Play other sports?
I'm the goalie for the Midway Rockwood soccer team. I had over 200 saves this season.
Okay, wow. Okay, Sydney?
Hi.
Talk a little bit about the season for you.
I've played for Coach Hayes all 4 years, and I think I love it even more every year. He's definitely been hard on me. I don't think there's not one game that I don't hear my name screamed from the sidelines. And, I'm on the court, and as soon as I come off, he's still screaming, but I wouldn't change it for anything.
What position you play?
I'm a guard.
You play point guard or two guard? Or?
Point guard, shooting guard. I've tried to play post, but he won't let me.
And she's a golfer. She went to the state this year on the golf team, golf tournament.
I went to the state, really? Wow.
Yeah. So we're versatile.
That's great, yeah. How'd you do in the state in the golf?
I didn't really place very highly, but I just started playing my sophomore year, so just getting to go and experience it and see these big courses was just a great opportunity.
Okay, let's
She
go.
also plays softball.
Okay. Let's go down to Sierra. And Sierra, how's the season going for you now? You play what position again? Guard?
Post.
Oh, the
guard,
post.
man, I wish I could be guard.
Okay, you're the post.
Yeah. It's gone well. I've struggled personally on the court, and Coach Hayes knows that for sure. Even when he's yelling at me, I'm yelling at myself in my head more than he is at me. We've just played well together. We're really aggressive on defense and offense. Our defense wins our offense more than anything.
And I forgot what I was going to ask. You played all 4 years?
Basketball, I've played 3 years.
3?
Yeah.
And you also play football?
Football and soccer, yeah.
You're the kicker?
Absolutely, yeah. I scored a field goal last year and won the game for us, I think, against Greenback, I think it was. It was a huge rivalry. We hadn't beaten them the whole time I've been in high school, so it was a good experience,
right,
especially for the team.
How far was that field goal?
I'm not sure. I think it was 20 or 30 yards.
How you do on extra points?
I've missed a couple, but this year I think I hit every single one except the ones that have been blocked, which I think 1 or 2 of them were blocked.
I know Midway has some good football teams. Sort of maybe took a step back this year, but trying to think the quarterback's name. Who was quarterback year before last?
Emmett Hagelin.
Hagelin, yeah, and then he had a good receiver there in Goodman, I believe. So I know you scored a lot of points. You probably got a lot of extra point attempts.
Definitely, yeah.
And you also play what other sports?
Soccer.
Soccer.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't you run cross country?
I did freshman year. Yeah, when I didn't play basketball, I ran cross country. I wasn't very good at it.
How'd y'all do in soccer this year?
We did better than we have in the past. One of my goals, because I played for 4 years, one of my goals was to beat Loudon, and we beat them early on in the season. Though we didn't make it far in the tournament, we beat teams we needed to and fought hard.
So, Sarah, do you have any pregame rituals?
I do, yes. So every game, home game or away game, my mom will braid my hair 2 little pieces all the way down, and then she'll put it into a ponytail. Kind of a superstition. Yeah, it makes me play better, in my opinion.
Lyric? Any pregame rituals?
I have this certain playlist of music I listen to, and I always have to have a piece of gum in my mouth during the game. I always have to be chewing a piece of gum. Coach Hayes doesn't like it very well, but...
Bubble gum or?
Hubba Bubba.
Hubba Bubba?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What about you, Sydney?
One of our assistant coaches, Coach Treadway, I always have to get Tic Tacs from him. And Coach Hayes actually got us these little tokens that says be all in. And I stick mine in my sock before every game. And I definitely can notice a difference if I don't have it in my sock. So.
Okay. What would you say some of your strengths are on the basketball court?
Over the last year, I have gained intelligence on the court. I'm a strong shooter most of the time, but I definitely just have the smarts for the court and kind of know how to run the game when I'm out there.
What's some of the things you need to work on?
Speed. My defense is pretty slow. I'm short, so.
Right. Lyric, some of your strengths and weaknesses.
I'd have to say I'm a pretty good shooter. I love to get rebounds. It's my favorite thing. I love diving for loose balls. I always seem to make contact with other people, though, as I go down, so it's always a foul.
You gotten some foul trouble this year?
Not really, no.
That's good. Anything you need to work on? Just
My ball handling.
Sierra, your strengths and weaknesses, or if you have any.
I do have a lot of weaknesses, that's for sure. I say my strengths are, I wouldn't say all of defense, but there's moments where I do get around the girl when I need to. But I'm good at boxing out and rebounding because I'm a bigger girl and I can push them out of the lane. I need to work on my shooting and my mentalness of my shooting. Coach Hayes always told me I'm in my head, and I know he's right, but it's hard to overcome that.
She's a perfectionist. She thinks she missed
If
one
you
shot,
met
that
my
that's
mother,
the end
you
of
would
the
know.
world. I can't convince her it's not. As long as it's a good shot.
Right.
You miss,
But
you
you
miss.
still yell. You still yell if I miss or if I make it.
And Sierra, what's some of your hobbies when you're not playing sports?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I have any because my whole world revolves around all these sports. I mean, I coach some soccer. I play some instruments. I'm not very good at them, but I play the ukulele and the cajon, which is like a drum you sit on. They're weird instruments, but I can kind of play them.
You have any siblings that
Yeah, I have 4 siblings.
older?
3 older, 1 younger.
I guess they played sports too.
Absolutely, yeah. None of them played high school basketball until me and my younger brother.
You got a sister too.
Yeah, she graduated in 2017 or 2019.
Who's your youngest?
Dalton, he's a sophomore this year.
Oh, is he playing ball?
Yes,
Yeah.
he's a sophomore.
But you, Lyric, what's your hobbies?
I like to go fishing, and I like to ride my horse.
Okay, you got a horse, do you? What's your horse's name?
So she's papered, so she has a very long name. Her name is Mandarin Winter Jacoby. I just call her Kobe.
What kind of horse is she?
She's a gypsy vanner.
I don't know much about horses really, but I'd say she's pretty, I'd say.
She's a paint, black and white.
Wow. Where do you ride her at?
Just around my yard.
She lives down in the boonies.
Almost
almost to Sweetwater.
Oh, okay. South of the river?
Way south of the river.
Way south of the river.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you live close to Sweetwater, really? You always gone to Midway?
I grew up in Ohio for 8 years, and then I moved to Tennessee, and ever since I've been in Tennessee, I went to Midway.
Okay. Go to elementary school there?
Yes, I started in 3rd grade here.
Okay. Sydney? Some of your hobbies?
I ride horses as well. I love being in the greenhouse with the school, so any chance I get, I'm helping with growing plants in the greenhouse.
And you got a horse? What's his name?
His name's Rango.
Rango, okay. Where do you ride him at?
I used to show Tennessee Walkers, but now I just kind of do it in my free time at my house, or we go to different campgrounds and ride.
You ever get with Lyric and y'all ride together?
We haven't.
Okay. Sydney, what's some of the goals this year for the Midway? Some of your goals. You have like team goals or individual goals?
Well, as a team this year, we've really grown, and I can see it in all of us. So I'd definitely like to see us do really well in the district and possibly do really well in regions because we have the capability. I want for myself to keep the leadership that I hold and be a good role model for the rest of the girls.
Okay. About you, Lyric?
I think our number one goal is to be number one in the district, win, and be undefeated through the whole district.
Mm-hmm. And Sierra?
I agree with them on all of that. I think we've definitely worked well as a team this year and overcome past mistakes that we've made and just helped each other, encouraged each other. I've noticed a lot from last year to this year, we're more encouraging at practicing games.
What's it like to play for Midway, to put that green jersey on?
Feels pretty good.
Guess you grew up in Midway, right?
Absolutely.
Always wanted to play for him, I guess.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
No, she wouldn't play her freshman year. She was afraid of Coach Hayes.
I was not afraid of Coach Hayes.
We have a joke about it.
Who's your biggest rival? Who would you say your all's biggest rival is?
I'd say Harriman right now because we're neck and neck this season and the past few years that I've played. And we just need to work hard to beat them again this next coming weeks.
I know you have a lot of schools there close by. Okay, Lyric, what's it like for you playing at Midway? I'm proud of you to wear those colors.
I think being part of the community, everybody's really warming. You walk through the gym, everybody knows who you are. You get to talk to everyone. It's just like huge family. I love being around everyone.
You get some big crowds come out for the games?
Definitely Friday nights during the week, but everybody has to work.
What would you say your favorite sport is?
Definitely basketball.
Basketball. Would you like to play in college? Or?
Tomorrow I'm signing to play at Johnson University to continue playing basketball in college.
All right. Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What about you, Sierra? Just like to go on and play in college? Or?
I'd like to, but right now I plan on just focusing on the degree I'd like to get.
And Lyric, who would you say your biggest rival is?
Definitely Harriman.
Harriman, okay. And Sydney? What's it like for you? I know you said you played there 4 years. What's it like playing for Midway?
I moved to Midway first year in middle school, and it's always been just a home for me. Most of my family has grew up there, and I actually lived by Coach Hayes for 10 years. And he coached my mom, and I've always, when I was little, I was hoping he would be my basketball coach, and here we are, still getting yelled at today.
And who would you say biggest rival?
Harriman this year. Greenback has always been a big rival as well, but Harriman is definitely our biggest competition this year.
What's some of the memories you're going to take away for playing at Midway? Just going to school there.
The bonds that I've created with some of these girls and everyone at the school, and taking these big wins that we've had and cherishing them.
Lyric, what's some of the memories you like to share with us?
There's a lot to choose from. I'd have to say field day when we all get to hang out, play outside, not just be stuck in the classrooms.
Okay. Sierra, some of your memories?
Gosh, I don't know. There's too many. For basketball, I'd say watching Coach Hayes run.
Watching him run? Getting on you, Coach.
He's had so much knee surgery. When he runs with his knees straight. It's just, it cracks everybody else on the team up.
Okay.
No respect for that. I think they're funny when they run, too.
Really?
We may run some more tomorrow.
Yeah.
In the game we will, not after practice, not after the game.
You don't want to be, you make you run, you don't want to. Sierra, what's your plans after graduation?
I plan on going to ETSU for architecture and interior design.
Okay. What about you, Lyric? I know you mentioned going to Johnson College.
Yes, I'm going to Johnson to play basketball and get my degree in education. I want to be a teacher and a coach when I graduate.
Like to coach basketball?
Yeah.
Now, Johnson College, it's right outside of Knoxville, right?
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Sydney?
I'm going to play golf at Roan State and start off my degree in most likely education as well.
Congratulations playing golf in college.
Thank you.
And you like to go into education? Would you like to be a teacher?
Yes.
Okay. And Sydney, if you would, what's it like playing for Coach Hayes?
Like I said, I've always talked about playing for him, and here I am. He definitely pushes me, and, you know, some days I kind of wish he wouldn't, but at the same time, I wouldn't be the player I am today without his push and drive for me.
Coach Hayes, let's talk a little bit about Sydney Queener.
Well, you know, Sydney was born about 2 houses over from me. They lived in Kingston then. And, you know, I saw her when she was nothing. And she used to come. I have a pool, and she would holler over the fence, "Can I go swimming?" And nobody ever told her no before, till Coach Hayes said no. And that was always been a big joke. But she comes from a good family. I coached her daddy a little bit in basketball. I did coach her mama for 4 years, and they're all good families, and we've had, you know, it's fun. It's fun.
Lyric, what's it like playing for Coach Hayes?
So I seen him coach my sister, so I kind of seen how he already was, so I was trying to prepare for it. He's definitely hard on you. If he sees potential in you, he's going to push you until you reach that potential, and even when you do, he's still going to keep pushing you. If he's mad at you, he won't talk to you, but most likely he's soft on the inside. He loves every single one of us.
Big softy.
Oh, yeah. He might not want to show it, but he's a big teddy bear.
Coach Hayes, talk a little bit about Lyric Prenzy.
Well, you know, Lyric didn't play in junior high. And used to when her mom and daddy were talking to him and her sister after games and stuff, she'd just stand over the side and just stare, you know. And I thought, you know, I would kid her about it. I said, "You'll be a soccer player." But she came out her freshman year and hadn't played in middle school. But she's one of the hardest working girls I've ever coached, because her freshman, sophomore, and junior year, she was in the gym getting my keys every morning before school started, just about. And
you got a scholarship.
She came as far as anybody I've ever seen shooting. Just, you know, she got a stroke. She's on. And it's come through hard work, and she'll do anything you ask her to do or try to do it. And she's got a soft heart too. You know, she can't stand to think that I am mad at her.
All right, Sierra, talk a little bit about what's it like playing for Coach Hayes.
I didn't know about Coach Hayes until I did get in high school, because none of my older siblings played for him. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to try out for the basketball team. Freshman year, I went to practice, never came back. The next year, I was like, maybe I should play for him. I mean, he yells a lot. He's a lot different from my previous coaches, which was my dad. My dad is not too nice for me. And Coach Hayes just is always yelling, but it's in a good way. Like, he wants to win, and he does it for the best. Like, he wants the best for our team.
Okay. Coach Hayes, talk a little bit about Sierra Cow.
Her freshman year was the year, end of her freshman year was the COVID year started that spring, you know, and everything was shut down. Well, you know, we didn't know we was going to get to practice or anything. So I get this text one night out of the blue. Can I come out for basketball? I didn't know who I was talking to. And I don't remember what I said. I said, I guess, you know, or something like that. And who is this, you know?
Yeah.
And I said, are you sure now? You ain't coming out there and you wasted my time. Because I was real disappointed her freshman year she didn't come back because I could see some potential there. And I knew she was a smart kid, and I wanted her, and she wouldn't play, and it hurt my feelings, in fact. So she texted me, and I said, yeah. So she come out there, and it wasn't long until I saw, okay, this is going to work out good. And she's been there for 3 years and started most games. I don't know if she's not started a game, but she plays awful hard. She has several double-doubles this year, like 12, 14 rebounds and 10, 12, 14 points. And she's good on the glass, and she's a good leader, and she leads by example. She's not a rah-rah, but you know, she gives you practice. She shows up to practice every day and does what you want her to do.
Okay, right now we're going to go ahead and take another break, and we'll be right back with the speed round for these girls. And so stick around, don't want to miss that. You're watching Locker Room Chat.
If you've been injured in an accident, let OEB Law fight for you. We will fight the insurance companies every step of the way. Call OEB Law today and turn your wreck into a check.
I choose Rome Medical Center because this is where my heart is. My family and friends use Rome Medical Center, and I want everyone that comes through our doors to have an experience that makes them as proud of Rome Medical Center as I am. I'm Nancy Easter, Manager of Materials at Rome Medical Center, and I'm so happy to work for an employer that values me and makes me feel appreciated.
Find out why Roane Medical Center is the best choice for your future in healthcare. Learn more at roanemedicalcenter.com.
As soon as I walked in the door and saw just the ambiance of the place, I thought, wow. I said, this is really nice. Everyone is just great with all of the residents.
I call this the Alexander House of Angels.
This is an example of one of our rooms. This is considered a large studio. We do have 4 different size rooms. They all have their own private bathrooms. They all have a small kitchenette.
I always tell residents that they feed us wisdom. I feel like that's a big special part of working in assisted living.
And it's a big family here. Everyone is very nice.
Look out for each other.
They do. She's made a lot of friends. It's been that from day one.
Yeah, it has. I love our building, our people, but I tell you, I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Roane Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roane Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roane Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roane Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roane Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
All right, welcome back into Locker Room Chat. We're visiting with the Midway Lady Waves. Are undefeated in their district. We got about 3 minutes left in the show, and head coach here, Mike Hayes, and we're going to give these girls some speed round questions, and we'll start there with, let's pass that down to Sierra. We'll just go real quick. Favorite food, Sierra?
Chick-fil-A chicken.
Hot wings.
Mac and cheese.
Favorite place to eat?
Mexi wing.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
What'd you say, Lyric?
Mexi wing.
Macy.
Mexi wing.
Mexico.
Sweetwater.
Oh, okay. Place, where would you like to visit? Place you'd like to go, Sydney?
Probably Las Vegas.
Italy.
Anywhere in Europe, in Bora Bora.
Type of music you like?
Christian, like worship music.
Lyric?
All genres.
Country.
Do you have a superpower you'd like to have? What would it be?
Probably to jump high because I'm not very tall.
Speed.
Invisibility.
Do you have a hidden talent?
I don't think I do, no.
I can dance really good.
No.
Have a phobia?
Any bugs.
Bugs.
Yeah, bugs.
Bugs. What's your nickname?
My dad likes to call me Brick Wall because I'm big and people bounce off of me.
Okay.
Princess Olaf.
Sid.
1 minute. Let's go ahead and give a shout out.
Coach Ruffner and Treadway.
I'd like to give a shout out to my favorite coach, Jason DeVries, and my parents and my grandparents.
Shout out to my entire family. There's a lot of them.
Okay, well, girls, I thank y'all for being here, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
And Coach Hayes, I thank you for being here. Anything you'd like to say here before we...
Oh, I appreciate y'all inviting us, Brad, and you must have been desperate. But anyway, we're glad to come, and I'm proud of these girls. They do an outstanding job. They're good kids, first of all, and I'm very proud of them.
Well, Coach Hayes, thank you for being here again. Good luck the rest of the way. And for Chandler, Coach Hayes, I'm John Williams. See you next week on Locker Room.